Mr. President, deans, faculty, staff, administrators, parents, and most importantly, class of 2018, thank you. Thank you for your love and support. This is an honor I will never forget because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is unlikely. When I accepted admission to South Dakota State University, I was unaware that I was accepting an invitation to a snow-capped flatness of nothingness. This place was foreign to me, literally. Overwhelmed by the weight of two 50-pound suitcases and emotionally insecure because of my lack of fluency in my second language, English, I was looking for a home away from home. At C2F2, the Fall Student Engagement Fair, I walked up to a booth called Jackrabbit Forensics. I was like, yeah, this CSI stuff is what they show on American shows in India. This is great. Well, if you're still wondering, I was wrong. This forensics was speech and debate. A wonderful, wonderful woman by the name of Andrea Carlisle, who, by the way, is reading the names of all of us at this ceremony today, welcomed me into Jackrabbit Forensics. And this was particularly terrifying because the insecurities which I was trying to hide would be on full display by joining the team. Plus, friends, this is a community where people wear suits and talk to walls. Forensics. A welcoming community became my home away from home. But I felt as though I was missing a piece of the puzzle. I never understood the importance of volunteer work or community service. Back home in Mumbai, it was always every person for himself. Quite ironically, in one of the most individualistic cultures in the world, I found the importance of collectivist values. The opportunities given to me by members of the Brookings community through 1 Million Cups, through TEDx Brookings, and through Amanda Quam, who serves on the board of directors for the South Dakota World Affairs Council, taught me that you can only serve yourself when you serve others. The leadership opportunities I received through the Students Association, serving as a senator for the College of Arts and Sciences, through Delta Chi, my fraternity, which gave me a Spanish language learning intensive program in Ecuador, and through Jackrabbit Forensics, which taught me the art of effective rhetoric, all made me a better human being. 4 years later, I stand here, a graduate in speech communication with honors, minors in political science and studio arts, but most importantly, I stand here as a jackrabbit. I tell you my story because it is the story of all of us. We all had our doubts, we all had our difficulties, and we all have our memories. We walked into our advisor's offices in Vint Road not knowing if a Spanish minor would fit into a 4-year plan. We stayed up late with our friends studying Chem 114 because only God knows the answers to Jay Shore's exams. We all celebrated when the likes of Zach Zenner and Dallas Goedert signed with top-tier NFL teams. We were able to do all these things and be all these things because of one promise, the promise of South Dakota State, the promise of a Bikini initiative, which will create an American Indian Student Success Center on this campus, the promise of the School of Performing Arts, which can not only host Tony Award winners like Leslie Odom Jr., but also launch the careers of future artists and professionals. The promise of the College of Education and Human Sciences, which can inspire counselors who are equipped to address the mental health crises across college campuses in America. And most importantly, the promise of our teachers who teach us to be the best versions of ourselves. I talk about these promises because let me be clear, in no other university in the world is my story even possible. And I know that I owe a debt to all those who come after me, that we owe a debt to all those who come after us. It is our turn to live up to the promise of South Dakota State. So, when you walk out of here today, remember that in a room when a jackrabbit stands, nobody sits. Remember that today is not the end. It is the new beginning, that we are the next generation, the generation of change. Use your Spanish and Global Studies degree to teach the language to the less fortunate. Use your knowledge of design and architecture to make a world accessible for everyone. Use your knowledge of pharmaceutics to conduct research which can potentially cure cancer. And use your music degree to create music which can make the soul dance and the heart so overfilled with joy that it begins to bleed yellow and blue. Faculty and staff, I have a message for you as well. Innovation in technology is happening at a rate faster than the speed of light. While you incorporate social media, narrated PowerPoints, and online test taking in your classes, make sure that the classroom is mentally, physically, and emotionally accessible to all learning styles. College campuses across America are encountering an increase in active civic engagement. Administrators, implement policies which welcome open and fair discussions and promote freedom of thought in the marketplace of ideas. If you're not yet convinced of the promise of South Dakota State, I hope this does it for you. 4 years ago, I made a promise of my own to my parents. Sitting in my cluttered living room in Mumbai, India, I told them, if I go to South Dakota State, I will work till I cannot physically take it anymore to be the commencement speaker because I want to make you proud. My mom, Geeta, my dad, Virendra, and my Krina are back home in India, but are watching the live feed as I speak. And I want to tell them, I love you, and I made it. I made it because of wonderful individuals like Andrea Carlisle and Dr. Tim Nichols, Dr. Rebecca Bott and President Barry Dunn. I made it because of the great promise of South Dakota State. It is because of this promise that those who didn't think they could afford college will be future pilots and lawyers and pharmacists. It is because of this promise that those who cried tears of pain to send their kids to college cry tears of joy this afternoon. It is because of this promise that a skinny immigrant with a thick accent can dream of working in the White House, believing in the power of a nation which is not his own, the promise of South Dakota State. So 4 years later, I stand corrected. Despite the weather 3 weeks ago, this place is not a snow-capped flatness of nothingness. It is a land full of promises, rooted in legacy and realized in the present. We are proud members of the graduating class of 2018, surrounded by the best and the brightest that this state has to offer. SDSU has given us so much. It is our turn to give back to SDSU. Today is your last day as Jackrabbits, but tomorrow is your first day as alumni. Go out to your graduate schools, your full-time jobs, your part-time internships, your business startups, and find a promise you believe in. Then stay true to that promise. You don't need to take huge steps. Take a small step every single day. Remember, if your tomorrow is not better than your today, you can do something better. That is how you can live up to the promise of South Dakota State, which reflects our collective belief that yesterday, today, and every day is a great day to be a jackrabbit. Thank you.